Sha'Carri's start is back. The reason why she struggled and only was 5th at Worlds last year is because her start has kind of been absent in 2025. The Sha'Carri that won Worlds in 2023 and got silver at the Olympics in 2024 is back, and it's why she's running so fast, and it's why I think she's going to be a factor here in this final. Dina Asher-Smith of Great Britain, the British record holder at both 100 and 200, and of course she was world champion back in 2019, but somehow she does not have any individual Olympic medals. That's Chanel Smith, who she says she's having her most injury-free year. Here's Sha'Carri.
Seems to be a very composed Sha'Carri as well, who won this pre-classic 100 2 years ago. In fact, the last 3 winners, Shericka Jackson, Sha'Carri, Melissa, all in this final.
That's right. And here is the second fastest woman ever at 200 meters. Only FloJo is faster. In fact, she's been the most dominant 200-meter runner over the last few years. She has the second and third fastest 200-meter races of all time.
Is the world champion.
What's the saying? Walk softly.
Yeah.
Carry a big stick. She's going to break out that stick here because I was really impressed about how she looked in that heat. And here's the collegiate record holder. She announced her presence with that NCAA win because 10:63 makes her the fastest in the world. And she's still just 20.
Here comes Favour Ofili of Nigeria. She'll start in lane 8.
She's run 10:87 for her best, but only 11:10 so far. I don't think you win this race, Lee, unless you run 10:7 or better. It's too much talent. And there's Shanti Jackson, daughter of Bershawn Batman Jackson, the 2005 world champion in the 400-meter hurdles. All she's done is break the high school record. She's the current high school record 100-meter holder.
And look who is here. This was just a few moments ago. The legend, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, being acknowledged by the crowd here. And then South Carolina, the Gamecocks legend, Dawn Staley, multi-time NCAA championship winner, last couple of years runner-up with the game.
Greetings my track lovers. Here we are today and welcome back again to our home of track and field. Oh, what a fantastic day. I honestly admire everyone who had the chance to be inside that stadium because what they witnessed was something special. This is a small country, but it is producing athletes who are doing some very big things on the world stage. And today we have to talk about Melissa Jefferson because this young sprinter is giving fans plenty of reason to pay attention. But the big question is, are we watching the rises of one of the most dangerous sprinters in the world? Okay guys, continue watching this video until the end, then I'll come back with more comments. Stay tuned and I'll be back. Thank you.
Gamecocks, 2 iconic women athletes here as special guests to watch this Nike women's 100-meter final.
Set.
And away we go. The world champion gets a much better start than Adasia Hodge. And here comes Sha'Carri. Look at Sha'Carri Richardson and the world champion. Sha'Carri to the line. It's tight between Sha'Carri and Melissa. It may very well be Sha'Carri Richardson. No, Jefferson Wood, and it's a photo finish.
Wow.
That's how tight it was. What's the margin and who gets it?
Oh, that's use her streak. I told you Sha'Carri is back to the form that saw her win the world title. And look at how close this was at the end. Remember, it's the torso across the line that's going to get you the win. If anything, Sha'Carri backed off a little bit with that hand gesture.
The women's 200-meter final. And it features none other than the world #1 in 100 and 200, Melissa Jefferson Wooden.
When she swept the 100, 200 at the World Championships, she became the second woman ever to do that and the first American. I couldn't believe that stat because there have been so many great Americans that have attempted that double. She left with 3 gold medals. She's been so dominant the last season and this season. She didn't run the 100 here, so I think she's going to come out here and want to send a message. We saw Julian Alfred run 21:51. What does she have in the tank, Otto?
Yeah, her last loss was the Olympic final. Here's Cambria Sturgis training with the 200-meter Olympic champion, Gabby Thomas. This is only her 2nd ever national outdoor final, and she is likely to be closest to Melissa Jefferson Wooden with her 21:93 personal best back in April.
This is Cameron Dixon. She's coming off of her senior season at Texas A&M. She was 3rd at the NCAAs. She represented Team USA at the 2023 Pan Am's under 20, where she won a bronze in the 100 and took home gold as part of the 4x1 relay.
Big moment for her too. It's her first nationals. She made her debut with On yesterday. Her career's beginning very strongly.
The world lead by the Olympic 100-meter champion from St. Lucia, Julian Alfred, 21:51, Sonia, making her the 3rd fastest ever behind Sharika Jackson and Flojo.
It was a very strategic semi-final put together by Melissa Jefferson Wooden.
Oh, she's going to run fast here.
She only did what she had to, but now we're going to see her at full speed.
Set.
Start the women's 200-meter final.
She has 10:63 speed, and nobody else in the field has that, and that's why the world champion has completely obliterated this field so far.
My goodness, look at Melissa Jefferson Wooden come off the turn and run away from this field. The world number 1 streaking to the line, 21:69, and it's a back-to-back national championship in the 200 for Melissa.
Best at all. Melissa Jefferson Wooden world is right back to her best. Maybe this is a response to what we saw from Julian Alfred. She knows, hey, 21.6 isn't getting it done. You got to get down into 21.5.
Listen, she's a woman on a mission. Something has changed about her. Her level of confidence when she steps on the track shows every single time. She handled the turn like it was a straightaway, came off and looked like she was going to be on her way to a potential world lead. I think with the right competition, and when she links up with Julian Alfred, it is going to be fireworks. I cannot wait.
Hello guys, I hope you have just watched that full video. Sprinting looks simple when you watch it from the outside. 8 athletes stand in their lane, the gun goes off, and everybody runs. But behind those few seconds are years of training, discipline, sacrifice, pressure, and preparation. Sometimes the difference between winning and losing is so small that you almost need a magnifying glass to see it. And that is exactly what happened at the Prefontaine Classic in Eugene, Oregon on July 4, 2026. The women's 100 meters brought together some serious talent, and one of the biggest names standing in the block was Sha'Carri Richardson, but Melissa Jefferson had other plans. The gun went off, and Jefferson exploded into the race. There was no time to hesitate. No time to look at the competition. She had to trust her preparation and execute. And when the athletes crossed the finish line, the result was incredibly close. Melissa Jefferson took the victory in 10.78 seconds, while Sha'Carri Richardson followed just 100th of a second behind in 10.79. 100th of a second. Can you imagine spending years preparing for a race and then having victory decided by 0.01 seconds? That is what makes sprinting so exciting and so cruel. At the same time, there is absolutely nowhere to hide when the clock is running. But what really stood out about Jefferson was not just the time. It was the way she competed. Her form looked controlled, her confidence was obvious, and she appeared to understand exactly how she wanted to run the race. She was not simply throwing everything forward and hoping for the best. She looked composed, and sometimes that is the difference between a good athlete and a great athlete. Speed is important, but knowing how to control that speed is something completely different. As the fun saying goes, talk less, run faster, and Melissa Jefferson seemed to be doing exactly that. But then another question appeared: was Eugene just one great day? Or could Jefferson prove that she could perform at that level again? Well, we didn't have to wait too long to find out. On July 26, 2026, Jefferson lined up for the women's 200 meters at the Toyota USA Outdoor Championship in New York City. This was a completely different challenge. The 200 meters demands speed, but it also demands patience, strength, technique, and the ability to maintain your form when your body is screaming for you to slow down. And Jefferson delivered once again. She clocked 21.69 seconds and successfully defended her national title. Just think about that. Winning a national championship is already difficult, but coming back the following year and defending that title bring a completely different kind of pressure. This time everybody knows your name. Everybody is watching you. Everybody wants to be the athletes who takes your title away. So what does Jefferson do? She runs 21.69 and walk away with another national crown. That is not luck, that is consistency. And consistency is one of the most important qualities in elite athletics. Anyone can have one great race. The real test is whether you can come back, handle the pressure, and perform again when the expectation becomes even bigger. This is where Melissa Jefferson's story becomes especially interesting. She is showing that she can compete in both the 100 and 200 meters at a very high level. She can handle close finishes. She can perform when the spotlight is bright, and perhaps mostly importantly, she appears to be gaining confidence with every major race. Think about some of the great sprinters we have watched over the years. Athletes like Usain Bolt didn't become legends simply because they were fast. They developed the ability to perform when millions of people were watching. They learned how to handle pressure, expectation, and competition. Melissa Jefferson is now building her own journey, and it will be fascinating to see how far that journey goes. But here is the big question: who can stop her? Could Shakari Richardson come back stronger? Could another American sprinter suddenly produce a breakthrough performance, or could an international challenger arrive and completely change the conversation? Because that is the beauty of sprinting. Nothing is guaranteed. One race can change everything. One perfect start can change the outcome. One small mistake can cost an athlete a medal. And sometimes an athlete who nobody was talking about suddenly becomes the biggest story of the championship. That is why Jefferson's performance deserves attention. Her 10.78 victory in Eugene showed that she can handle a close 100 meters battle. Her 21.69 victory in New York showed that she can also handle the demand of 200 meters. Two different races, two different challenges, and two major victories. Oh wow. Now, that is a serious statement. And let's remember something important. When we match, Melissa Jefferson ran for 10 or 20 seconds. We are only seeing the final product. We don't see the countless hours of training behind it. We don't see the early morning, the difficult workout, the recovery session, that technical adjustment, or the mental preparation. That is the part of athletes that fans sometimes forgot. A great performance is usually built long before the athlete's walks into the stadium. So, when Jefferson steps onto the track with that calm expression, there is a lot more happening than what we see. She is carrying preparation, confidence, pressure, expectation, and the desire to prove herself. And perhaps that is why her performances feel so impressive. She doesn't have to make the biggest noise before the race. She doesn't have to make huge promises. She can simply step into her lane and let the clock speak for her. And right now, the clock is saying something very interesting. 10.78 seconds, 21.69 seconds, two victories, two major statements, and perhaps the beginning of something much bigger. So now I want to ask you, track lovers, is Melissa Jefferson becoming one of the biggest threats in women's sprinting? Was that 10.78 in Eugene or a warning to the rest of the field? And after defending her 200 meters national title in 21.69, could we be looking at an athlete who is ready to take another major step on the international stage? Because the next time Melissa Jefferson walks into the stadium, the competitor, will know exactly who is standing beside them. And that is when things become really interesting. The question is no longer simple. Can Melissa Jefferson win? The question is, who is going to stop her? The track has already given us the answer to one question. Melissa Jefferson can run. Now, the world is waiting to discover just how far she can go. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and here is the home of track and field. Feel home, feel at home, and thank you for watching. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please remember to subscribe, like, and also comment. Thank you.